like that.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna do 2 more. So next Tuesday, I'm gonna do one at lunch and in the evening. I want as many people to have these tools walking into Thanksgiving as possible. So I want to ask, and I did this at lunch, I would really love to hear from you. If you want to share, fine. If you want to just be quiet, that's fine too. What is the reason that you came, other than maybe to support me? What brought you to the call and the thought process of making it a better holiday than you have in the past? Anybody want to share? Kim, you wanna?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay.
Well, first off is to support you because I enjoyed the brief moment we had with each other in Dallas.
Yes.
There was some amazing energy, and so I was glad that there was this reconnection. And then the other thing is because the holidays are. I don't know if it's because I don't know, we prophesize it because of the things we read in the past history of things that when you get family together, there's going to be drama and there's going to,
Mm,
so sometimes do we go in expecting that, like you said? So when you said that, it's how we show up. And it truly is. It's how you show up. The rest of people can do whatever, but it's how you react to what's shown up. And so I was excited.
yeah, well, I agree. I couldn't agree more. Like, first of all, thank you for your support. We did have a great connection in Dallas. And also, just there are a lot of cultural messages, and not just cultural, but what we brought from our family. What's the pattern that we just take into the holiday? We don't even think about how it's affecting us. Karen, do you want to say anything, or I could dive right in?
Oh, no, I mean, my family's just as dysfunctional as anyone else. My family's kind of scattered and there's invitations put out about, oh, let's get together at Thanksgiving, and then they don't come through, stuff like that.
Yep. So this is going to be very simple to say and very challenging to do. So part 3 of the 3 steps is going to be the most important, and I'll get there one thing at a time. So I want both of you to picture either the physical room that you walk into that's difficult for you in the past, or that has been in the past, or the person. Maybe it's one person, maybe it's a couple of people, but what does that face of that person look like? Put it in your mind. That is a little bit more challenging, because we all know the easy ones, like love to see aunt such and such or cousin or daughter. The easy ones are not really who are going to challenge us this holiday. It's the difficult ones. So put that place, that space in your mind, or that person. And what would it look like if you walk through these 3 steps today, and then when you go into your holiday and show up totally different with that individual or in that room? What did it feel like? What does it smell and sound like? Get your senses involved. So the begging question is, who do you want to be in that space in front of that person, him or her? And who do you want to be for yourself? If you want peace, if you want to show up less reactive and more loving, it's going to be all 3 of these steps multiple times throughout the holiday. So I'm going to dive right in. Step number one is awareness with a smile. So when you walk into that space, when you get in front of that person and something comes up for you that's normal because it's what's come up before, you're going to just pause and get aware of what's happening in your body. Maybe you feel it in your stomach, your chest, maybe it's in your throat. For me personally, I had years and years of pain in my throat, and I was silenced, and I was not able to tell my truth for a long time. And I people pleased because it felt uncomfortable to say the truth because I hadn't practiced it. So I felt it in my throat. Wherever you feel the stress in your body, or maybe it's like that, you start to get the anxiety or the I call it the fast twitch response, like you just automatic response. It doesn't really work. Just pause. And here's what is so super cool. There's so much science around this, but if you actually smile, we've all heard that if you smile through the phone, they can tell. So the number one first step is awareness, but doing it with a smile. Because celebrate the fact that you're seeing something, you're feeling something that you get to notice. Some people go their whole lives and don't pay attention to these signs, right? So you're getting to do that. It's a privilege. It's a gift that we get to notice this. So that's why we're going to smile also. Awareness. When you meet Bobby at the door and he's the nastiest, crudest uncle in the room, or your mother-in-law says that horrible comment, or whoever it is that, I don't know who it is in your life who you pictured, but picture them saying something that you know is going to get you a little bit teed up for stress or anxiety or comebacks. And you're just going to pause, sense what's happening, become aware, and smile through it. What a gift. So number one, awareness. Like, that's a huge step. So for me, that took me a very long time, like years, just to get aware, just to be present enough and connected enough with my own body and my own experience with my people. So you can do that quickly. Number two is make a new choice. Like, who do you want to be in that space? You want to take a deep breath? Do you want to call a friend? So the new choice is something different than you've done before. I was talking to a gentleman who has decided to stop alcohol, and that's changed everything for him. And so I'm sure early in his journey, he had to call a friend or have somebody on speed dial, a text, plan, be intentional. With this new choice, you have to be intentional. This is a new choice that's going to change your interaction. Be prepared for them to go, what's going on with you, right? Make a new choice of like, I'm finally deciding I'm going to breathe through some of the stress. It's not about you, it's about me. Own it. Be intentional on making a new choice. So I want to go back to you ladies, Kim, Karen, as we've talked about becoming aware and then making a new choice. Can you picture somebody in your mind that's going to cause you to be aware and make a new choice? And if you have that, would you be willing to share what could a new choice look like for you? Go for it, Kim.
There could be multiples. Okay. Actually, to be really honest and open here, my mother is my number one. I feel like she's my, as Marcus has said, dream sucker.
Mm.
Um, and so I have learned through the help of another friend that I need to just go in knowing that the negative energy is always, I always take
Available.
it in. Yeah. And so now I kind of walk into the room and I kind of picture a mirror, okay, but it's going that way. So when the negative energy comes to me, I kind of have the mirror up and it just kind of bounces back and I don't let it enter. And that's how I'm going in to look at the holidays this time. And I think even just in little things that I've tried it with other little situations, it does help because I can look at it and go, I'm not going to let that, I'm not going to internalize that like I would always do because it'll just bounce off. And because that feeds them too, I think. That's probably not exactly how you explained it. I'm going to try to get in there and do
That's
that. But
perfect.
it is a new choice to not engage, just to, like you said, you smile and just, how nice for you. Let that energy go back.
It really is important to smile. Like, I don't want you to think that you're not doing something correctly. If all we get to do this holiday is shift into a smile, that alone changes so much. Like, okay, here it is again. And this is what I'm going to do differently. And so I'm going to share with you, Kim, that my mom is also one of the most challenging. And I said this at lunch. I can so relate to what you said, but in my case, there's all this Christian fluff words that they float around and they get spoken. Like, Jesus just covers it all the negative energy, all the I don't give a shit about you, but Jesus is so good. And I'm like, is anybody else hearing this or feeling this? This is so backwards and weird. What's happening? Kim, with my mom, what I've decided is to focus on all the beauty that she's given me. And we have so much in common. And what I had to come back to this Mother's Day was she chose me. She gave birth to me. She fed me. She clothed me. She fed me well. And that was like, if I can just get more around the ladies in my life that didn't have those simple things. Okay, we have a mom I don't know what your mom's situation is, but for me, I had to go back to the basics to not want to just rip her head off, truly. So, and I'm just being honest, right? That's what we get to do in a safe
Yeah.
space like this. And so I just smile and go, okay, she's doing the best she can. So my new choice was also to say, I'm not going to absorb that, but I'm also going to show up for you and love you. That was where the change
Mm,
was for me.
that's true. Send the healing love instead of the other stuff that we want to, because it does feel better when you smile and can share the love back. You feel better, and even like you said, when you smile, if you just stop and smile, it's funny how even all the little energy in your body feels so much better than it did if you just.
It feels so much better. I'm going to make sure my battery's not dying really quickly. I'm just going to, yes, I'm good because my screen got really dark just now.
It's
And
relating to the light.
if you're, yeah, if you're willing, can I give you one piece of feedback? I don't know you that well, but I
Yes,
feel
of
like,
course.
so when you talked about the mirror, that is what I thought for so many years is what I would be the best thing to do is to just let it bounce right back off of
Yeah.
me. This is a shift for you and I, Kim, is to move back into that loving her.
Yeah.
What does it look like? Because we get to do that. I don't know how old your mom is, but mine's approaching 70 and every day is a gift. And I'm going to choose to reset out of, oh my gosh, this woman drives me nuts into, and this is for me, right? Take what you
Yep.
like, leave the rest. She is precious in all the good things that she did, right? So my new is like, okay, I'm gonna smile through this and I'm gonna breathe and I'm gonna tell her, I love you so much, Mom. Thank you so much for blah, blah, blah. And I think sometimes
She'll be the one we're grateful for at the table when we have to say why. And it is true. My mom's going to be 94. Uh,
wow.
I could be your mom. And it is true to look at the positives and not dwell on the other stuff.
So let me ask you specifically, we get to be very specific here. What would it look like? I don't know if you're going to see her at Thanksgiving or
Yes,
Christmas.
I will.
Okay.
Both.
What would it look like for you? Whatever she does, whatever she says, whatever happens that puts you in that, I'm going to do the reflection mirror thing. What could you do specifically that would be a next level for you of loving her?
Specifically, I just have to look at the positive because she's a very negative person. So all the words that come out are very, and you just go, can't you say something nice? So you just have to look at it and find the nice in everything she says.
There you go. And maybe when she says something negative, you can say, oh my gosh, I never considered that. And maybe you could turn it into something funny.
There you go. There's a
So,
way to do it. Instead of feeding off of it and going the other way, it's true. Because I tend to want to turn it and go, and then it just makes it, so that's a good way to do it.
so I hope that gave you a little bit of, expansion for what that could look like specifically with her. Karen, do you
Yeah.
have anything that comes up for you at all?
Um, the primary thing I would say with my difficult person at the holidays is not to get involved.
Mm.
She has lots of grievances against other people, and some of them are ridiculous. She made them up, and she's in pain
Mm.
because of something she made up,
Hmm.
and it does no good to try and be the peacemaker because then both sides hate you.
Ah, so
So,
what could a shift look like for you in that conversation? And how does it make you feel when she does this?
well, it makes me want to correct it for her because she's in pain.
Mm,
For a long time, when I would try to explain someone else's point of view to her so she wouldn't feel so badly. If she looked at it a different way, she might feel differently. Oh no, she'll never feel differently. This is the only point of view. And then she would beat up on me the way she would have if the person had been in front of her.
mm,
And for many years, I took it because she didn't have anybody else in her life. And I figured I had broad shoulders.
mm.
And then I realized she's got to learn how to function. That's not a functional pattern. So I don't do it anymore. So how I would have to change is to be quiet, to not respond when she said, "Oh yeah, they didn't tell me that." which then starts a diatribe about what that person did and how they didn't tell her and all that. I'm not sure it would slow her down, but at least I wouldn't be engaging.
I love that your awareness is to just say nothing. But
And smile.
what are you going to do when you say nothing, Karen?
Well, I think I would just say, that's not the way I see it, or, I didn't think of it that way, and still not engage. Acknowledge that she's speaking, but just not engage. And I'd have to be careful about smiling because she could think that I was being
Sarcasm.
mean to her.
Okay, so
What, hon?
sometimes, yeah, sarcasm is what Kim said, I believe.
Oh.
So sometimes you're not going to do that in front of them. I think that's a really good point. Like your
Mhm.
internal is like, and you're smiling because you're pressing in and leaning into making a new choice, which for you looks like not engaging. And
Mhm.
and there might be a thought here, Karen, of maybe say, hey, I know that in the past we've had to talk, we've talked about a lot of the grievances. What was your favorite thing about growing up? Do you have any beautiful memories this holiday? What are you really thankful for about our childhood? I would invite that you direct the conversation to something really joyful and some gratitude, and not in a judgmental way, right? She gets to be her, but you could guide that a little bit in the conversation.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've gotten a lot of practice on this, right? Even with my mom, this is, and I'm like, you know what, mom, what is, I'm going to say this really quick. I did this just right on Saturday. I got together my granddaughter all the way to my grandmother. It was 2.5 to almost 94. And these women don't speak. My mom, my grandmother do not speak. And, I sat there at the table at lunch after the photos and I just interviewed my grandmother. I said, what was your favorite memory as a girl? And my mom just watched me do this. And I sat and I recorded about 2 minutes of an interview with my grandmother. And we literally giggled and laughed and joked for 2 minutes. And my mom said nothing. She said nothing after. And sometimes I think I get to be the one to lead, even if it's not impacting her. I still got to lead with my grandmother because my grandmother, guess where it all came from? Oh, poor me, poor me. Mom, oh, poor me, poor me. Me, oh my gosh, can you believe it ends with me, right? So this is what I've been working on for 20 years. How do I cut this shit out? Excuse my language, because it
Sure.
doesn't work and it's soul sucking. When you're around this type of behavior and these type of comments. So Karen, what is it? Your cousin? Remind me, your sister?
My sister.
Your sister. Hey, sister, could we think about some of the most enjoyable moments we've ever spent together at holidays, or maybe they're not at holidays? What are some of our most favorite memories together?
She
Vacationing,
does love to
swimming.
live in the past, so I mean, she'll jump right into that.
And then you get to redirect her if you want, if you have the energy. But at the very least, you become aware that you don't get to engage this year with the negativity. Don't get sucked into the soul-sucking vortex of negativity. It is a
Well, and
killer.
sometimes it's almost like muscle memory. I
It
don't even
is.
know. I think because, like you said, we've done it for so many generations or so many whatevers that we go into the room saying we're not going to do that, and then we get in there and it's just like I wasn't going to do that. So it's like we have to retrain our muscle memory.
Yes, so this is step 2. A new choice gets to be
Mm.
intentional. So that is where you can invite friends, trusted people to help you, give you some ideas, hold you accountable, be available on Thanksgiving. They don't have to reply, but you say, hey, this is what I'm committed to going into Thanksgiving. If I start getting sucked back into my old pattern, I'm going to text you. You don't have to reply, but I just want to reach out just so you know I'm leaning in to a new choice.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're setting yourself with intention. And here's what I said at 12 o'clock. I don't know where both of you are on this. I think both of you are probably okay with it. Chat GPT is your best friend. Literally tell it, Karen, my sister, da 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 da. How can I show up differently? Give me 5 ways to bring joy into the conversation. Kim, hey, I'm going into a situation with my mom is the most negative person in the world. I don't want to get sucked into receiving negative energy, how can I put a lot of positivity out there? What can I talk with my mom about that would make it the most joyful holiday for her, and in turn for me as well? Because God knows she doesn't want to be like that.
I don't even think they know they're that way. If somebody said
She
to them,
doesn't.
"Do you realize you're this?" She
Clueless.
would go, "No way. I'm not, that is not me." So you're right. And to definitely go along with your suggestion, I forget about that, but it's been interesting the few things I've used Chat GPT for lately. I have been like, "Whoa." I I guess you can see why people are leaving their partners for Chat GPT. Better conversation.
Well, there's a whole couples communication that my husband and I use, and it told me once, don't say that to him.
Yeah.
Say it to
No,
me.
yeah.
Here's what you go tell him,
Yeah.
But in those relationships, the actual ones, the physical ones that we're talking about right now,
Right.
Chat GPT can give you, I don't know if both of you are in the Christian faith, but that's where I'm at. And I go in and I say, give me all the verses on renewing your mind. And it just spits them out instantaneously. Give me all the verses on joy. So
Oh,
one of your new choices in being intentional can use ChatGPT for ideas and ChatGPT for encouragement for your own new ways of thinking. Any questions on one or two, or thoughts, comments, anything? Okay, this is really good. I'm proud of women who are willing to do this, and I want to celebrate every single woman who says, I'm going to do it different, even if they just become aware, even if that's the only step they do. My God, that's better than most of the world, right?
Mhm.
awareness is number one.
And then if you're willing to lean into the discomfort, because we have been in these patterns, we have been sucked into a way of doing life, and whether it worked or not, we're willing to try something new. That's number two. A new choice feels uncomfortable. That's why you got to get some support to get that new choice into action. But hey, if we just do step one, we're doing good. So 1 and 2. Number 3, this is really important. Like I said at the beginning, ladies, this is what set me up for the most success. Number 3 is asking a new question. And this question has to be extremely powerful. It's got to move you from steps 1 to 2. And when you're making a new choice that feels like nothing you've ever done, it's the hardest thing to continue to go forward because your pattern is so automatic. Your question needs to be something like what mine was for the first part of 2024. This is the first time I used this and it worked like magic. That's why I'm telling you. In my mind, I said, every time I wanted to complain about this person or this situation, I asked myself, how can I appreciate the love I already have right now? So that was for me, okay, because I was getting caught up in, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe. So, for example, in the holidays, like, why is my husband not helping me more? Why is he so negative? Is he focusing on the in-laws and not me? And early in our marriage, right? What is it about my mom that she can't love me? Like all these different questions that actually just come instantly in our minds. Why is my sister so negative? Why can't she get over this? Why is my mom the most negative person in the world? Okay, we're not asking those questions anymore. We're asking a question that would allow us to move through the emotion that's so uncomfortable. So for me, I would just freeze. I would shut down. Guess who that hurt the most?
You.
Me. So I don't know what your question looks like, but at lunch, I played a song for a minute and I asked the group to please come up with a question. Another question might be, how can I appreciate the people in my life? I chose the love. Maybe another one is, how can I show up with, there's a lot of words that come to mind, but this is such an individual question. How can I show up with more love this holiday? It could be something simple, but it's got to be powerful enough that's going to move you through those automatic emotions and patterns. So when I would shut down and I would say, what I would ask myself also, what do I really want? Do I really want to shut down right now? Do I really want to pout? Do I really want to focus on the negative? Or do I really want to love these people? And do I want to receive their love? But it's not easy in the moment. I mean, I would be like wheels, what's that? Gears grinding into the next level of myself, like I could barely get to that next gear. But I did it, and it's possible. So let me play a song for us really quickly. And if you have any questions while I'm pulling up the song, please ask. Otherwise, just kind of think on it. Think on what question you could. You have any questions about it? What's a powerful question you could ask?
Or I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You've been so, so good to me. Or I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You've been so, so kind to me. Sits me down, fight still, I'm found here tonight, and I couldn't hurt, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Now it's your fault, still your love fought for me. Been so, so good to me. Got no words, you paid it all for me. So, so good.
I love that song, Reckless Love of God, and I want to show up in my family with reckless love, but it's intentional. It's not really the reckless that you think of on the movies.
Or abandoned. Yeah.
All in, totally committed, 100% owning how we show up for ourselves and the people we love the most. Do you both have a question in mind that you think would be powerful enough to help you with this shift that I know you can make? Because I've done it and I keep it on doing it. This is the work I'm in for a lifetime because it is so automatic. This is not like one and done. Sorry for the news flash. It's not going to change in one holiday.
No,
We get to work on it a lifetime.
it's a constant.
What a gift.
True.
Want to share what came up for you? Even if it's not, the perfect question, it's okay. What do you think you came up with that's pretty powerful for you tonight?
I think there's several, but it all entails love, that you've got to just look for the love, see the love, um, be the love. That it's just look for that instead of everything else. How can I see the love in the room or something like that rather than anything else?
Because what we focus on grows.
It's
And your
true.
mom has been growing negativity, and that's what she's been focusing on. So it's just natural for her.
Mhm.
That's what she knows. But if you lead with love and you ask that powerful question I just heard, how can I look for the love in the room?
Yep.
How can I be the love in the room? I love that. Awesome, Kim.
Now we just got to do it and report back later.
Well, I'm going to talk about that in a minute too. Karen, do you have a question or a thought that's going to?
I don't have a question in the way that you're saying it, as like a way to be question. I want to be the love in the room. But it's more of an outcome based question. Do I really want this day or me to be remembered for this?
Mm.
That's
Like
powerful.
if I'm this close to getting in a fight with somebody, I'm all about legacy right now because of what I'm doing in my business. And so I'm thinking, next year, do I want someone if I'm not here, do I want someone to remember that
Oh, I love that. I love
or
that.
something else?
Karen, that is very powerful.
Really?
Yeah. No, I
Yes.
like that. I like the way that you said that too,
It's
because it's a great
urgent.
way. Yeah, I like that.
It's a great way. Kim, go ahead.
No, I'm validating her. I love what she said, like, because you can incorporate that into everything, right? Because even with mine is, do I want to be remembered for the love or the negativity? So it's the legacy you leave behind. That's awesome, Karen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really huge, Karen, because one thing that I can tell you is I lost a brother. I grew up in a real culty Christian environment, and gosh, it was like years and years of trying to figure out what the truth was about ourselves, about life, about people, about God. God was weaponized in my family, and the Bible was weaponized. I'm so glad we have Bible app. I love that little app because it's still triggering to this day to open a physical Bible. So with my brother, my point was that, I never thought I would lose him so young, and I didn't have the information to help him come out of his fog is what comes to mind, but that was the name of our cult, Family of God. I think that all of us tend to think that we're just going to keep going and we have tomorrow and the next day and the people in our lives are going to be around, and then something tragic happens and you realize it's just pretty urgent that we make these shifts because there's no promise. So, on a positive note, you guys both came up with amazing, powerful questions. If I were you, those sound like things that would cause me to move through the difficulty of the emotions that come with that pattern and shifting into a new way of being. Leading your sister Karen and leading your mom Kim in laughter. Plan ahead what you're going to ask these women. Plan ahead what you're going to make a joke about. Ask ChatGPT to bring humor into the difficult moments. He's good at that. She's got to know whatever ChatGPT is. And so these 3 steps are truly simple and excruciatingly hard to accomplish. Becoming aware is not easy, but gosh, it's good. Making a new choice, not easy. So great when we're actually able to do it. And then asking that question, it's not just at the holidays, y'all. This question goes with you, because if there's one thing I've learned, it's if you're this way in that room, you're that way in all of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is a question that you can carry with you. Go ahead, Kim.
I came up with a great little sentence from her that's leading in laughter and love for our legacy.
I love it.
Wow.
Leading in
Wow.
laughter and love for our legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah. I
And
mean, because you can think of that for everything, even as you enter anywhere every day. That's what you want to be. That's the presentation you want to make, right?
And at lunch, we talked about the opportunity that we get as women who have the courage to do this work, to do this pattern shifting. We get to reach up to the people ahead of us. Might be a boss, somebody that's around your age, but we also get to reach down to the younger generation and invite them into a new way of being. So for me, it's pretty powerful. I was determined 2 years ago when I got some pretty big wake up calls like, Kendra, if you don't change right now, you're going to become exactly what your mom and grandma are. And they're wonderful women.
Right.
But there's a better way for me, and I know that. And so I get to lean in, make that choice, and give a different pattern to my daughter. And I also get to, like Kim with your mom, we get to show up for her.
Mhm.
And so it's really exciting. I know that sometimes it feels yuck, but I want y'all to remember the excitement when Kim, you just stated that. Can you say that statement one more time?
Leading in laughter and love for our legacy.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking yourself too seriously, too serious as we do this. So, you know, we've gone over three really quick, three simple steps that have worked for years for me. The last 2 years specifically, I got really intentional about being supported, having my go-tos when I want to step back into an old pattern. But showing up with more love automatically brings peace. It's something that, like I said, we get to do for these women and men and children in our life. Even at the grocery store. You know, you look at the grocery store as people are prepping for Thanksgiving, and everybody's like, most people are just in this operation of not paying attention to anybody but their to-do list and themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bringing joy even to a stranger, much less the people we care about the most. So I hope that some things shifted in you both tonight. I hope that you enjoyed walking through these steps and thinking about how you could show up differently. It excites me to think of all the lives that get to be touched through showing up with more love than we've shown up with in the past. And not that it's wrong, right? Status quo is okay. I'm cheering for the people that don't just give up. I mean, my brother shot himself in the chest, not to be graphic, but that was, you know, he gave up. And there's a lot to that, but you're not giving up. So people that are in the room, there's no judgment for them. I'm not judging my mom. She's absolutely where she's supposed to be. What a gift that I get to learn from her. Right? So I want to be careful that I forgot to mention that to you guys, not judging the others, but appreciating exactly where they're at, because it's a gift to you to be able to become somebody new in the relationship. So I hope some big things opened up for you, and I want to invite you to share this with other women that you know. And this is part of a larger movement that I'm creating called Free to Love. And it all started with my mom, Free to Love her, because she is the most challenging person in my life to love. And she's super kind. Oh my gosh, if you met her, you'd love her. But she doesn't show up like that for me.
To others. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true. I sometimes wonder too, how much of it is just the way we see it, I guess, or how we internalize it or something, because it's all that past whatever, and we've outgrown that now, but we still see. So yeah, very good. Very
Good
good.
thought.
Kendra. Thank
Good
you.
thought. Well, if you know anyone that my Black Friday special, started at lunch today. It's $47 to work with me 4 times. That's before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
After Thanksgiving, it's a 30-minute session to debrief after the holiday. And then before Christmas, let's make a game plan specific for you. And then 30 minutes after the holiday. Like, I literally want anybody to be able to afford, let's go in, game plan before each of the holidays, and then debrief on what worked and what you could do differently at the next event, because it's not just the holidays. This is weddings, birthdays, funerals. This is always happening. We get to practice this all the time. So if you know somebody who would like a little bit of support going through the next 2 major holidays, I would be super thrilled to work with them for $47,
Cool.
which is never happening again, by the way. I'm changing careers, and so like I want to make it ridiculous where anyone could say yes to this. So if you ladies would share that, and if you also have any feedback as it comes up in the next day or two, or even tonight, send me a message. I want to make this better. I really want women to get the value to be able to do this work and show up differently. So love to have your feedback.
So do you have a link, or,
Yes, I
if we
do.
tell somebody, okay,
Yeah, I'll send you a link. I'll send it to you on Facebook or on text.
And then will this be on your YouTube channel?
I am going to put, oh, I haven't decided about putting these on YouTube. Should I put this on YouTube? Maybe.
I think you should.
Okay. Well, I'll
That's
take
where
your,
and that's your free platform to get us, so we can share it to more people, because not everybody's on Facebook.
yes, true. I do have a Facebook channel, Free to Love them. So I'll put it there. That's a great idea. Thank you, Kim and Karen, for being here. I'm
Yes,
cheering
thank you.
for both of you. You're so welcome.
We're cheering for all of us.
Yes, let's cheer for
Yeah.
that legacy piece. Really important for love and laughter.
Yep.
Yay!
Yep.
Okay, and let me know how it goes for you both and Thanksgiving. Can't wait to
All
hear.
right. We will. You
Okay.
have a blessed one too.
You too.
thanks, Kendra.
Bye.
Much love.
Yes.
Thanks,
Bye.
Kendra.